What's going on, y'all? This is Traveling Man doing my next YouTube video. Like I said, my last video, I'm gonna follow up with the whole Bill Cosby thing, cause so many things have come to the surface since the last video. But what I definitely want to start off with by saying is, Bill Cosby's finished. I mean, there's nothing else to say about that. I mean, he's completely finished. His legacy, his career, is dead, buried, and cremated. He's absolutely finished. I mean, there's nothing he can do at this point. Nothing at all outside of finding Marty McFly and Doc and finding a time machine where he didn't, do what he did to the women. It didn't sell out. But other than that, nah, he's finished. Point blank. Period. He's his career is finished. Point blank. And with the whole accusations things, I'm not sure if people were confused as my stance on it. I mean, even though a lot of things, more things have come to the surface. In my mind, I mean, I couldn't definitively say whether he did or didn't do it. Now, my thoughts were honestly, I didn't believe all those women were lying. But I didn't believe all of those women were telling the truth either. I think some of them are just trying to get a money grab. Some of them, because like there was one woman that said something like she was a college student and he raped her while paying her tuition. She's like, I let him keep raping me as long as he paid my college tuition. Like, really, that doesn't even make sense. Um, like I said, it doesn't like Cosby. Did some inappropriate things with women. He probably raped some. I mean, I'm not trying to throw the man under the bus, but it is what it is, and he's wrong for that. But you know, hey, I guess he has to pay the piper now. But it's a bigger thing going on. But and with that being said, he he proves himself to be guilty by just not saying I didn't do it. Like somebody accuses you of rape. I mean that's serious. I mean why would you not say I didn't do it? That's easy. I mean, you can get me under oath right now. I've never raped anybody. I mean, what? I mean, what's so hard? What's so hard about saying that? And he never once said I didn't do it. Like, dang, there's people that even lie. That lie about certain things that say they didn't do it. No, I didn't do that. And then we can go on from there. But he never said once to this day I didn't do that. So that looks bad for him. And while I'm saying that, I want to say this right now, man. We owe Mike Tyson a big apology in that regards. And I don't care what nobody says. Now, Mike didn't rape Desiree Watson. I don't care what y'all say. When you break down the whole evidence, and there was see if I can find the link, or you can look on the link. There was I mean, it was with Greta. What's her name? Greta Van. What's that lady from Fox News? They did a whole documentary on a lot of the evidence that they left out with Mike Tyson. How Desiree Washington tried to pull that crap on a white guy, but didn't take him to court. Wink, wink. And a lot of evidence about her lying was not brought up in court. They said it was too late. You know how that goes. But Mike said from day one, before he went to jail, before he went to court, he said, "Hey, I didn't rape anybody. I didn't rape that girl." While he was in jail doing his he had interviews in jail with like Ed Bradley and some of these other people. He said, "Hey, I didn't rape anybody. I didn't rape that girl." You know what I'm saying? To this day, he still says I didn't rape that girl. So I mean, after all this, and he did his bid. He did his time. He did the time for it. You know what I'm saying? And he never stopped his stance. He always said, "Hey, I didn't do that." Matter of fact, they were going to try to let him out of jail earlier. But they said if you just there was a hearing to let him out early, and they said if you just apologize, we'll let you go. He said, "I'm not apologizing for something I didn't do. I'll just go back to jail." Now, Mike's a real dude. You say what you want about him, but we owe him an apology, man. He did his time for that, but because he was a young kid from the street, we didn't give him a break. They throw him in a kangaroo court, you know, with a bunch of hillbillies, and oh, surprise, he gets found guilty. But to this day, like, when they try to bring that up bring up in interviews, some people interviews will try to be slicker. Oh, yeah, you went to jail for raping. Well, he said, "Whoa, wait a minute. Hey, I didn't rape that girl." Now, hey, I'm not saying I was perfect. I was a pig as far as my womanizing and that kind of thing, but I didn't rape that woman. You know what I mean? He lets that be known. Even his one man show, he said that. So we owe Mike Tyson an apology. But Mike Tyson didn't sell out, which is why it's funny to even think that Mike Tyson is in better graces with the public than Bill Cosby is now. But when you're real, and can humble yourself, that's what happens. But getting back to Bill Cosby, the biggest thing coming out was there was a deposition um, that was actually settled out of court for Bill Cosby in 2006, where this woman said that he had had drugged and raped her, and it came out in July. For some reason, because I thought those documents are not supposed to come out, but the judge let it out. I guess because everything else was coming out. But like I said, you know how that goes. But basically, Bill admitted that the lawyer got him to basically admit that if you look at the whole thing, a lot of people said, I mean, it's pretty much an admission of guilt, but he's saying he had quaaludes on him, and the lawyer asked him, did he have them with the intent of having sex with, using them to have sex with women? He said, yeah. And I think the guy asked him, did you rape anybody? And I think the lawyer stopped him before he can go that far. But, doesn't look too good. And I'll put the article up here. But that's come out, so it looks like the brother. It looks like he did it, man. Just that's a bad look, you know. Um, because he never actually admitted to raping anybody, but looks like that's what he did. Unfortunately. And my thing is, like I said, this is how things happen. Because once they get rid of you, then they throw you to the wolves. Because they've been protecting Bill for all these years for a reason. And because Bill thought he was one of them. He thought he can get a pass like other white folks do. And like I said, no disrespect to my white brothers and sisters. I just gotta be real about it. But all these lawsuits from the past are just now coming out. All these accusations are coming out from 10 and 20 years. Like, why now? And that's where other people have to take responsibility for the fact that, he was accused of all these things over years ago, and people knew that he did this to women, and nobody came forward and doing anything about it. If women were getting raped, and if he was a serial rapist like they said, I mean, a lot of these women or a lot of these people, just not even, because I know with rape victims it's hard for them to want to report something, but I'm talking about people who knew that these women got raped and never went to the authorities about this, never told you about this. Like, what, like, how does that make you look? And to the women that I guess did that were drugged and abused by him, it's like, I mean, I don't understand the strength in numbers, but I think I figured somebody would have came out and reported this or try to do something about it. But it's like, why now? Because I didn't know about this stuff. I didn't know about the rape and stuff with Bill Cosby. I had no clue. Now the philandering, I knew about that. I think everybody knew that. As far as him, he's been cheating on his wife since day one. I mean, everybody's known that. That's not even a question about that. But I did not know about this rape stuff. But like I said, it's funny how nobody was able to help these women or warn these women or get them sent to jail earlier. So that's where other people had to be held accountable for that. But along with that point, I saw an interview recently with D.L. Hughley on Sway's radio show. I'll post that under the link also. He said, because just see, I didn't realize that going to this extent, but this really goes perfect with my first Bill Cosby video, because I knew he had been highly critical of Def Comedy Jam when it was on. But like I said, that's inconsequential. Like, okay, somebody curses on stage. If you don't like it, don't watch it. The fact is, these brothers are making money to take care of themselves and their families. You ain't gonna pay that bill. Sit down. But like I said, you're not gonna say nothing to Andrew Dice Clay or George Carlin when they curse because they're white. Let's keep it funky. Anyway, D.L. Hughley said in the interview, he's like, man, when he was the host of Kiss FM in 2009, Bill Cosby called up the show, and he said, dude was trying to pull rank, man. He was just being a jerk. And rightfully so. DL let him have it, because Bill was like, well, you say nigga, you curse in your routine. He's like, well, Bill Cosby, Mr. Cosby, no disrespect, but when I say nigga, when I curse, women are not going to end up drugged with their panties turned inside out. And they went back and forth on the radio station. This was live TV, and he said, he said what happened was, after the show was over, one of the execs or whatever studio heads came down and said, hey man, this tape is not going to play. And DL said, no, it's going to play. He said, no, man, no, but this tape is not going to play. You guys are never work in this industry again if this tape plays. You see what I'm saying? He said, dude, I swear on my life. He said he talked about this in his other interviews too, Tom Joyner and other radio shows, but people hear what they want to hear. But I think that's real deep, that they went to this extent to protect Bill Cosby, but now they're letting him have it. They weren't done with him yet. They were still making money off of him. But once again, that's another thing that they should have let play so people can look into this, but they let it go once again. So people knew about this for years and didn't say nothing. And going back to my point, that this is, like I said, this is the worst nigga wake up call I've ever seen in my life. Like this is probably worse than OJ. I think OJ sitting from jail like, dang, Bill, this is the ultimate wake up call. But that's what happens, man. You tap dance and sell out, and then when you need black folks help, you we're nowhere to be found, and your quote unquote so-called white friends aren't helping you out. So hey, what it is, what it is. And Bill should have been empowering himself and helping people instead of just going on this black bash. Now, he did help a lot of people. What I'm saying, and Dr. Boris Watkins brought this up too. Now I'm not saying it's up to your interpretation whether you want to say Bill was a good person that did bad things or a bad person that did good things. It's really just up to interpretation. But he does some things he shouldn't have been doing. But he should have been empowering himself. Excuse me. Like I said, in the grand scheme of things, when um, NBC wouldn't let him buy the network, he was just like you gotta get the white man's approval. You know what I'm saying? He kept on trying to get, like, dude, they're not gonna let you buy your network. You know what you do with your $200 million? Start your own network, because it shows that you have the capability and the smarts and the business sense to run your own company. That was the whole point. You wanted to buy a network to run it. Start your own company. Now that's empowerment, you know. And actually, Sinbad was on the Breakfast Club, and he brought this up. He said, "Man, the execs, the industry never really liked Cosby. They really didn't want to give the Cosby Show a chance, really." And not only that, people forget the show A Different World. That was Cosby Show too. So you brought two hit shows to NBC, but now when you want to buy it, they have a problem with that. And two shows showing black people in a positive light. I mean, what other show? I can't even think of a show, at least at that time on television, period, about kids in college, but much less black kids in college, like A Different World, and it actually being successful for the whatever 4 or 5 seasons it was on. But that's how they did it. But that's where the empowerment comes in. You start your own network, and guess what? Instead of dissing these people that curse or whatever, you know what? Martin Lawrence, the Martin Show, still one of the all-time great shows to this day. I mean, Martin still does well on DVD sales. This show is still on syndication on MTV2 and TV1. Martin still, that was a legendary show. That's a show that still almost seems like it's on. How much it's almost like it's still on the air. How much it plays. That's what you do. You empower. Hey Martin, man, I heard you got a new show coming on. Yeah, man, how about you join my network? You know what I'm saying? You network. His show was on for 4 or 5 seasons. Very popular show. Steve Harvey, Bernie Mac. I mean, not that it necessarily. I mean, these are all brothers, and you unite like that. But I'm not saying that it doesn't necessarily have to be all black programming. I'm just saying that's how you think in the big picture. He didn't think about that. He had to, buy the white man station. You know what I'm saying? They let you know that they didn't want you. So yeah, man, you move on. You start your own. It's just like with Oprah. Like I said, I do respect Oprah. Oprah, I mean, most of her programming on her own network is black programming. But she made sure she didn't lose her base, and she's working that. She's got her own network now. She got her own power. Now, she's not having as many viewers as she did on her Oprah show, but she's empowering herself. She has the power to control the images that are on the screen, and that's what Bill should have done, but he didn't do that. And Hollywood, brainwashes people a lot of times in general, but especially brothers. Hollywood's got that. It's the same stuff that's got Will Smith on Tavis Smiley talking about 2 plus 2 is 4, but 2 plus 2 is whatever I want it to be, and this all this weird stuff. He wasn't taught that stuff when he lived in Philly. I understand you grow, but that kind of stuff don't make no sense. Don't make sense. Doesn't make sense. Excuse me. uh, but same thing with Bill, man. Bill wasn't doing this kind of stuff to him when he was in Philly. This dude went to Hollywood. Hey, Bill, dude, see that chick over there? She's hot. What you do is, man, put some of these Quaaludes in her drink, dude. Dude, she's ready. She's down, dude. She's down to go to town, dude. You know what I'm saying? You go to Hollywood and get brainwashed through that crap. But in your logical mind, like, dude, why would I want a woman being out cold, like, while I sleep with her? Like, that's weird. Like, what, you know what I'm saying? Logically, you'd be like, what's going on? But once you get to Hollywood, get around these kind of people, they think that's okay. And I will say this now, but like I said, Hollywood brainwashed brothers. But I will say this to Bill's defense. Like I said, I don't believe all those women are telling the truth. I don't believe all of them are lying. At the same time, Bill is not the only one who did this. I bet you there's a good 70%, 80% of Hollywood is or was doing this stuff. But of course, like I said, they have, if they haven't got caught yet, I'm just going to be honest, they have a different paint job from Bill, so none of that stuff is going to come out. And to Bill's detriment. He put on like he was this perfect person, like always chastising other black people and this, with a real arrogant kind of attitude. So now this makes him look bad. I think it had he been a person that, um, was a little bit more humble and it wasn't just so arrogant. I don't think people would have. I mean, I don't think people would have went down on him to this degree. But he was America's dad at one point. So for going from that to this, it makes him look bad. But like I said, to Bill's defense, it was the wild '70s and the wild '80s. I mean, that was, like I said, not all the women. I don't believe all the women. I do believe he did rape some women. It's my personal opinion, but I don't believe some of the women that are into that kind of stuff. And believe me, do some research on a lot what was going on in the '70s, '80s, what was going on at Studio 54. People women were taking quaaludes and having sex with men in the club and getting high in the club. Some women are into that kind of weird stuff. You know what I mean? Well, it's weird to me. If I guess whatever makes your boat float. A lot of women like to take drugs and stuff before they have sex, or you know what I mean. They like to be in a catatonic state before, you know what I mean, while they're asleep. A lot of people like that weird stuff. That a lot of weird orgies and the kind of stuff. I mean, it was just the '70s, '80s was just a wild period. And like I said, if you look up like Studio 54, like they would do this stuff in a club, like nowadays, what the club, you drink and smoke. That's about all you gonna do. And use the bathroom. But I mean, do people sniffing cocaine and popping pills and having sex right in the club? I mean, this was, what I mean, this was in pretty much the who's who can get into that club. It wasn't like it was a Hollywood club or whatever, but it was something that anybody can get into, pretty much. You know what I'm saying? And this was the kind of stuff that was going on in the wild, especially if you're a celebrity. That was the era. So I'm saying, I do believe that some of these women are lying in that regard. Like some of these women wanted that to happen. Not all, but I do think some. So but they're not getting thrown under the bus like Bill is. Shoot, as I'm talking right now, Woody Allen, like I said, who was sleeping with Mia Farrow's 15, 6-year-old daughter, statutory rape. It is what it is. He's getting a new show, a new TV series. He's writing and directed it on Amazon streaming service. Now that might not be a big deal. Oh, Amazon. I mean, the streaming service is doing well nowadays. That kind of stuff is making a lot of money. You know what I mean? All these streaming services and Netflix. I mean, the industry is making good money off this kind of stuff. That stuff is legit. You know what I mean? Like I said, Roman Polanski. What anally sodomized a girl back in '77, and he's still out and about in Hollywood, and they're not throwing him under the bus like Bill. Ted Nugent, that hillbilly. This dude stays on Fox News, and he stays. He can still do his concerts and that kind of stuff, and he is admitted pedophile. An admitted pedophile. Look, do some research on Ted Nugent. This dude was saying on his VH1 Behind the Music, he was sleeping with underage girls every night when he was on tour. It is what it is. I'm just saying, they're not getting the pass Bill Cosby's getting. Because they have the complexion for the protection, as Paul Mooney says. But that's what Bill gets. And I was kind of wondering if Bill kind of understood what he did as far as selling out. But the kicker for him is, I remember he came out in the news and said, I expect the black media to be neutral. Like, oh, okay, yeah, I see what's going on now. I hope the black media can treat me better. Like, oh, okay, Bill, nah, it's too late now. Nah, you can't, you can't sell us out, and then after the white man it tells you to bend over, you know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? You want to come back to us for help? Nah, nigga, you stay over there. The house niggas. If this is an apartment, the house niggas got to get evicted. No, it's too late, Bill. Don't come back to us after the white man to pull your pants down and respect you. Now it's too late now. You sell out, you stay over there. You know what I'm saying? You kiss your master's feet. You've been buck dancing all these years, especially the last 10 years. But couldn't say nothing when that white dude blew your son's brains out. You couldn't say nothing when these white folks wouldn't let you buy NBC, but you bashed your brothers and never challenged racism, white supremacy ever. But after the white man pulls your pants out and pretty much tells you still a nigga, you know what I mean? You want to come back to us for help? No, Bill. You're finished, man. No, don't come back to us for help. You know what I'm saying? It's too late now. And that's the thing. I swear that the house niggas, they always think that they're different from everybody else. That's the biggest thing. I don't know why niggas don't get it. You still a nigga. And they let you know. The house niggas, they yeah, the other 20 million, the other 50 million niggas in American history that sold out and got thrown under the bus. But see, I'm different. See, I'm different. The white man is gonna get me a pass. Yeah, okay. Just like with Jackie Robinson. I said not disrespecting Jackie Robinson. Like I said, I'm kind of reiterating some of the points I made earlier. You know, after all that crap that he dealt with, they had him come out and speaking out against Muhammad Ali after he refused to stand forward for the draft, talking about how disgraceful he is, this, that, and the third. And then when Paul Robeson went to the United Nations to make a plea for racism, they had uh, oh man, they had Jackie Robinson on come to court saying that racism isn't that bad, and it ultimately folded Paul Robeson's case, which would have helped Jackie Robinson in the end, you know, and his family and whatever the case may be. But you know, at the end, when Jackie Robinson was broke, you know, the white folks didn't come and help him no more. And he realized what he did at that point. If you read his biography, he regrets doing that. He realized he sold out, but it's too late now. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You want some sympathy after your money's messed up. It's too late then. You know, and that's what happened. That's what's happening with Bill Cosby. As you see, none of his white buddies are defending him. Um, you know, he's on his own. All that tap dancing he did, they're not helping him now. He's on his own now, and like I said, his legacy is dead, buried, and cremated. He's absolutely finished now. And to drive the point home further, because like I said, this man is finished, man. But they gonna just, you know, they already stuck the knife in. Now they're gonna now they're gonna cut the leg off too, or you know what I mean? They're gonna put two knives in instead of one. You know, they July issue of the New York Magazine, July issue, New York Magazine. They have Bill Cosby's rape victims on the cover. Have you ever seen that before? With a Hollywood star, I mean, when it comes to the brothers, I mean, they go above and beyond with this. But it's funny how they'll never do something like put the police officers that are unjustly killing black people on their cover, but they'll put these you know, Bill Cosby's alleged victims on the cover. You know what I'm saying? Just to drive the point home. Gloria Allred, anytime it's time to take down a black man, a black person, or she's up in arms, but you know won't help anybody else, any black people out to take down anybody white. Wink, wink. You know, or bash them. So that's how the game works, unfortunately. But it is what it is in that regard. You know, like I said, Bill Cosby's finished, man. You know, I hate to say it, but like I said, this is a nigga wake up call. You know, hope if this is the white folks looking at him like a ad, like the taxidermist. You know, after somebody, you know, what goes fishing, they get like a big long fish that's like, you know, 10 feet long, or they kill a bear or a deer and they go to the taxidermist and hang it up on their wall. That's what they're looking at, Bill. Like, we took down your top, you know what I mean? So hope this is a lesson to everybody. Like I said, you know, the nigga wake up call is in full effect right now. If Bill can get it, anybody can get it. And Bill, I know he regrets it now. I mean, I don't want it to happen, but dang, man, I almost thought, I was almost thinking Bill might, I'm worried for Bill's safety. I feel this brother might kill himself. This brother looks bad, man. Like I said, he's aged like 50 years in the last 3-4 months, and it, you know, it is what it is. Like I said, 10 years of bashing blacks. Meanwhile, like I said, you know, 50% of black men in Philly don't have jobs, or some of them not want to work? Yeah, but I mean, the employment rate is the unemployment rate is really high in Philly. Like I said, some of these neighborhoods like literally look like third world countries. There's no jobs in a lot of these places. Instead of, you know, bashing these people, you could help people out. You see what I'm saying? You know, unemployment rate still at 50% for blacks, but all you can say is black folks this, black folks that. But like I said, when all these police shootings are happening, nothing from Bill Cosby. You know, Joe Frazier, like I said in the last video, you know, his gym has been turned into a furniture store. That's sad, man. Bill could have wrote one check to get things right, and Bill was doing his part. I mean, Joe was doing his part. He wasn't talking. He was actually went to, you know, his gym was in that bad neighborhood. He let those kids from the neighborhood train for free to keep them out of trouble. He did his part, but Bill can't help him out. But you know, you can bash black folks all day, and now you're paying for it. He has no support now. And to kind of drive the point home, I want to bring the point home. I remember Damon Wayans said this. I never forget this in his comedy special, The Last Stand. I never forget this. He said, he's like, man, because this is Last Stand. Damon Wayans, was, especially at that time, was one of the hottest comedians out. He had HBO specials and all, and this is when The Living Color was out, and it's one of the most popular shows in history, really, and very influential as well. He said. He said, like, dude, I think I'm gonna do this. Is gonna be my last stand up, man, because I feel like I'm doing it for the money. He's like, I just get uncomfortable when white people tell me like, you're special. He said, you're different. You're not like the others. You know what I'm saying? He's like, it makes you uncomfortable. He said, you start believing that until the cops pull you over. Like, wait a minute, I thought I was special. Yeah, nigga, I put a special bullet in your behind. You know what I'm saying? I never forgot that, and that's real talk. He's like, there's always a pawn out there. You know what I'm saying? When niggas get money, they make them pause. And Damon Wayans said this too. This is some real stuff. He was saying, he was like mimicking a reporter, like now, Damon, now that you've made this $10 million, and we're not counting, answer this question, and you answer however you want. Does racism still exist? And he's like, house niggas think about that check that's gonna be missing, and they get on TV and be like, no sir. If there's any, I ain't seen none. You know what I mean? That's what happened to Bill Cosby. As long as they were paying him, hey, shit, what racism? It's only blacks. It's only blacks' fault for everything. The white supremacy, racism, that don't exist in my world. Even though your son got his brains blown out by a white dude that went to court and said I shot the nigger, and you can bring two successful shows to NBC, but it won't really let you buy the network when you talking about empowering. But racism doesn't exist in Bill's world. And like I said, his son pulled his pants up, was on his way to get his doctor's degree, still a nigga got his brains blown out. But racism doesn't exist. And it's evident now, because like I said, had this been anybody else, they wouldn't be throwing them under the bus like they are Bill. But he's getting it. Like I said, I hope, especially black people, I hope you realize, man, the nigga wake up call is in full effect. And if they can get Bill, they can get anybody. So, like Ice Cube said in No Vaseline, bend over, Bill. Y'all have a good one.